What is wrong with black people? What is wrong with black people? The main thing that is wrong with black people is a lack of knowledge. Even a PhD candidate, a doctor, will have so much self-hatred for another black person. They will look down at somebody from their own neighborhood, from somebody in their own family, and vice versa. Someone who is just this ghetto thug, this warlord criminal, this degenerate, they look down on black people the same way, but it's in different ways. While the PhD candidate, the doctor, he has knowledge, skill set, and that is very important. But what he usually lacks is a knowledge of self. And a knowledge of self is a knowledge of what you are, who you are, and where you come from. Black people generally lack a knowledge of history, how they got here. They lack a knowledge of current history, what's going on day to day. They lack a knowledge of what's happened over the past 300 to 500 years. Most of them really don't know. They just know, hey, we got sold as slaves or we got colonized, and that's it. They lack a knowledge of the Middle Ages, what they were in between 900 AD to 1400 AD, what they were seen as in the world and how their kingdoms were run. And they lack a knowledge of antiquity, how they were viewed in antiquity, and how their nations were run in antiquity, and where their nations were in antiquity. And they lack a knowledge of pre-antiquity. And they also lack a knowledge of the beginning, the world from 5,000 BC to 40,000 BC. How was it run? And what are some mythologies of how the world was run in 10,000 BC? And that sounds really simple, that it's just a fact of that is, but it's, if you knew who you were and where you come from and what you've done, you would realize that the past 300 to 400 years, that's just a small trip. That's one fight that you've lost and a number of victories that are countless. And so these losses that we've taken recently under the past 1,000 years, some say 2,000, I'm going to just say the last 400 to 500 years have been absolutely terrible. We've been conquered more than any other race of people on the planet as a collective. We are the losing team of the planet. We're the bad news bears. We're the worst team in the league. And so that's where you get the self-hatred from. No one wants to be on this team. You have people trying to escape it with religion. I'm not a part of your group. I'm with this religion. With nationhood, I'm not a part of your group. I'm a part of this nation. But within that nation and within those religions, they are the lowest in that group. So that makes no sense. And why are you the lowest in that group? It's because you're black. You're what we would call a Negro. And that upsets you. And a lot of people try to escape it, but the truth is there's no escaping it. So what are we going to do? We are going to learn knowledge of self. We are going to learn that this is just a hiccup in the great line of victories of who we are. We are going to learn that when we have gotten up, and when we have had these powerful empires, we have been a very arrogant people, and we are going to have to learn that that's been our mistake. We have to be a humble people, and the lowest in the group that we historically looked down on and stayed away from, the kingdom that wasn't big, that didn't have the biggest army or didn't have a written language, we have to learn that we must pick them up, that we must go to them, and that we can also learn from them as well. We must not be arrogant. So that's what we have to learn, black people, knowledge of self. And we have to look towards the future. We have to look towards who we're going to be over the next 500 years to 1,000 years. What type of people are we going to be? What are we going to build? How are we going to lead? How are we going to be to one another? And we do all this by learning knowledge of self, what we are, who we are, and where we are going.